In one of the most isolated and enigmatic countries in the world, where state propaganda dominates every aspect of daily life, one man rules with absolute authority, the supreme leader. But what happens beyond the rehearsed speeches, the military ceremonies, and the rigid public façade? Well, while his official image paints him as an infallible ruler, beloved by his people and immune to any weakness, the reality is far more complex. Behind the gates of heavily guarded palaces, he indulges in forbidden Western pleasures, cultivates secret relationships, and wields a power that blends charisma, oppression, and paranoia. These are the secrets of Kim Jong Un's private life that you are about to see today. Kim Jong Un, the current supreme leader of North Korea, rose to power after the death of his father, Kim Jong-il, on the 17th of December of 2011. He is the third member of the Kim dynasty, which has ruled North Korea since its founding in 1948 by Kim Il-sung. His ascent was carefully planned in the preceding years, with his father paving the way for a transfer of power. Kim Jong-un was educated in Switzerland, giving him exposure to the West. However, details of his life during that period remain shrouded in mystery. In the 2000s, he began to be groomed as the successor, gaining military and political posts to bolster his legitimacy. In 2010, Kim was promoted to four-star general, despite his youth and lack of military experience. He was also named vice chairman of the Central Military Commission of the Workers' Party and member of the party's Central Committee. After his father's passing, Kim Jong-un was swiftly declared supreme leader, with support from the military and the Workers' Party. The North Korean government invested in propaganda to portray him as a strong and charismatic figure, linking his image to that of his grandfather, Kim Il-sung. Another striking and quite bizarre fact from his rise was the elimination of figures seen as threats, including his uncle Jang Song-taek, who was executed in 2013. Kim Jong-un remains a central figure on the international stage, known for his authoritarian control, investment in nuclear armaments, and the country's isolation. A historic moment of negotiation between the two Koreas took place during the Inter-Korean Summit of 2018, when North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and South Korean President Moon Jae-in met in the Korean Demilitarized Zone. This was a significant event, marking an attempt to ease decades of tension on the Korean peninsula. The meeting happened on the 27th of April of 2018 in the village of Panmunjom. The symbolic handshake occurred on the military demarcation line, which has divided the two Koreas since the Korean War. Kim Jong-un became the first North Korean leader to cross the demarcation line into South Korean territory since the peninsula was split. After the initial handshake, Moon Jae-in and Kim crossed the line again, this time briefly entering North Korean territory before returning to the south. The gesture was carefully choreographed to symbolize reconciliation and unity between the two countries, which remained technically at war, since the Korean War ended only with an armistice, not a peace treaty. The meeting was widely hailed as a positive step, but faced skepticism regarding the implementation of its promises, especially given the historical lack of trust between the Koreas. Despite initial optimism, progress was limited in the following years, with deadlocks over denuclearization and the ongoing sanctions against North Korea. North Korea attracted international attention in 2022 by broadcasting a propaganda short film inspired by Hollywood action movies, starring none other than the supreme leader Kim Jong-un himself. The video was released to celebrate the successful launch of an intercontinental ballistic missile, reinforcing Kim's image of strength and authority. The short was produced with cinematic elements reminiscent of action films from the 1980s and 90s, featuring dramatic soundtrack and slow-motion camera effects. Kim Jong-un was portrayed as a hero, striding confidently in a carefully staged setting, surrounded by military officers in immaculate uniforms. The leader is shown wearing a black leather coat and sunglasses, walking toward the missile as he gestures orders for its launch. The camera focuses on Kim pointing to the sky, with a rocket blasting off in the background, symbolizing North Korea's military might. The video was an attempt to project North Korea as a global power in developing nuclear weapons. It also served as domestic propaganda, extolling Kim's leadership as visionary and protective of the nation. Kim Jong-un, despite being a dictator who exercises tight control over North Korean society, has shown an interest in fashion and aesthetics as tools of propaganda and cultural control. Since taking power, he has implemented subtle yet noticeable changes in the lifestyle and appearance of the population, especially among women. In recent years, the regime has allowed greater variety in women's clothing, including more fitted outfits and shorter skirts, once unthinkable, along with displays of women's apparel. High-heeled shoes and makeup have also become more common, promoting an image of modern and patriotic women plan aligned with national development. These changes can be observed particularly in Pyongyang, the country's capital, where the elite resides, suggesting that the regime seeks to project modernity in key areas. Despite these apparent openings, the government maintains strict control over what is considered acceptable. Clothes with foreign brand logos or overt Western styles, such as ripped jeans, are banned outside Pyongyang. Hairstyles are also regulated, with limited options for men and women. North Korea is home to a ski resort called Masikryong Ski Resort, located in the Taiwa Mountains near the city of Wonsan on the country's eastern coast. This venture was inaugurated in December of 2013 under the direct supervision of Kim Jong Un, who conceived the project as part of his efforts to modernize the country's image and attract foreign tourists. Covering an area of roughly 1,400 hectares, the resort has around 10 slopes that vary in difficulty, catering to both beginners and experienced skiers. The site includes a luxury hotel with a spa, swimming pool, gym, and restaurants, as well as a chairlift system manufactured in Switzerland. Situated about 25 kilometers from Wonsan, the area was chosen for its altitude and favorable climate, which ensures good snowfall during winter. Kim Jong Un sought to project an image of modernity and progress, showing that North Korea can offer leisure infrastructure comparable to developed countries. The resort was showcased as a symbol of North Korea's socialist civilization. Although the resort is an impressive undertaking, most North Koreans cannot afford it, given the high cost and the country's difficult economic conditions. It is aimed at the party elite and foreign tourists. In North Korea, Kim Jong Un's regime imposes strict regulations on haircuts and personal style as a way to reinforce social control and preserve the socialist cultural purity. These rules are part of the regime's attempt to ward off outside influences, particularly from the West and South Korea, which are seen as threats to North Korean ideology. There is an official list of government-approved haircuts, typically divided by gender. Men have about 10 to 15 authorized styles, generally short and simple. Hair should be no longer than 5 centimeters, with young men allowed up to 7 centimeters. Women have roughly 15 approved styles, ranging from short cuts to simple hairstyles. Married women are encouraged to keep their hair short, while single women may wear slightly longer styles. Kim Jong Un's own hairstyle, often called the pet top knot, with shaved sides and a voluminous top, is heavily promoted in state propaganda. However, citizens are forbidden to copy it, as it is considered exclusive to the leader. Authorities claim that the approved cuts reflect traditional North Korean values and socialist morality, while Western styles are deemed decadent and depraved. Those who break the rules can face severe punishment, including forced public haircuts as a form of humiliation or fines, imprisonment, and forced labor in extreme cases. Kim Jong Un's half-brother, the leader of North Korea, was named Kim Jong Nam and unfortunately met a tragic and mysterious end. After leaks and information involving Kim Jong Nam, an investigation revealed that the half-brother had been working for the Central Intelligence Agency, an American intelligence agency. Outraged by the discovery, Kim Jong Un allegedly arranged to take the life of his half-brother, who no longer lived in the country. Kim Jong Nam was poisoned and lost his life inside an airport in Malaysia. Security cameras showed him passing by the site, feeling ill and seeking help. He was taken to the airport medical station and did not survive. The medical examiners detected a small but lethal dose of a highly deadly sarin-based nerve agent on the half-brother's face and clothes. 2 women were initially charged but pleaded not guilty. They claimed they had been tricked by 2 North Koreans who were in the country but managed to flee. By all indications, the North Koreans were there under Kim Jong Un's orders to carry out the execution of his half-brother. The execution of Jang Sung-thak, Kim Jong Un's uncle, is one of the regime's most notorious and mysterious episodes. It took place in December of 2013 and revealed Kim Jong Un's brutality in consolidating his power after assuming leadership in 2011. Jang was married to Kim Kyung-hui, the sister of Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong Un's father. Seen as the second most powerful man in North Korea, he held high-ranking positions in the government and the Workers' Party. He served as a kind of mentor to Kim Jong Un in the early years of his leadership, playing a crucial role in the power transition. Yang was publicly accused of treason, corruption, abuse of power, and counter-revolutionary acts. State media called him human scum and accused him of plotting to seize power. He was also portrayed as a threat to the regime's stability, having supposedly accumulated enough power and influence to rival Kim's leadership. Jang was arrested at a Workers' Party meeting in a scene recorded and widely publicized to reinforce Kim's authority. Unconfirmed reports suggest he was executed in an extremely brutal manner, allegedly devoured by starving dogs. However, that version was later debunked and is widely considered Chinese propaganda. It is believed he was shot by firing squad using anti-aircraft weapons, a notoriously cruel method attributed to the regime. Jang's elimination sent a clear message about Kim Jong Un's resolve to maintain absolute control, regardless of family ties. Other Jang allies were also purged in a political cleansing campaign. Kim Jong Un is known for his lavish lifestyle despite the international sanctions that affect North Korea. Among his extravagant acquisitions is a super yacht, which has drawn global attention for its ostentation, as well as symbolizing the disparity between the ruling elite and the general population. Kim Jong Un's yacht is often described as a floating palace. It measures about 29 meters in length, equipped with luxuries such as jacuzzis, private suites, leisure areas, and likely advanced security systems. It is believed the yacht was imported illegally, sidestepping international sanctions imposed by the United Nations that ban North Korea from acquiring luxury goods. The yacht is often spotted off the coast of Wonsan, where Kim has a private resort. It is used as a status symbol during leisure moments and is part of domestic propaganda to reinforce his image as a powerful leader. Besides being a sign of opulence, the yacht reflects Kim Jong Un's leadership style, mixing showiness, power, and absolute control. Though it is a centerpiece for his personal getaways, it also underscores the contradictions of a regime that promotes an ideology of equality while its elite lives in luxury. The relationship between Kim Jong Un and Vladimir Putin reflects a strategic alliance based on mutual interests and the desire to resist the influence of the United States and its allies. While North Korea and Russia are not traditional allies, their political and economic needs have brought them closer in recent years, especially under the international isolation they both face. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union was North Korea's main ally, providing military, economic, and political support. After the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, ties weakened but were never completely severed. With Putin in power and deepening international sanctions against both countries, Russia and North Korea began seeking a rapprochement, especially starting in 2014. Both leaders share an anti-Western stance, criticizing the United States' global dominance. North Korea offers Russia a strategic ally in East Asia, while Russia helps bolster Kim's position on the world stage, creating a mutual benefit. Kim Jong Un and Vladimir Putin met for the first time in April of 2019 in Vladivostok, strengthening ties and discussing issues such as sanctions and economic cooperation. In September of 2023, Kim again visited Russia, where he met with Putin at strategic locations, including a space launch facility. Reports say North Korea has been supplying ammunition and other military materials to Russia during the war against Ukraine, while Moscow provides technological and diplomatic assistance in return. Kim Jong Un, North Korea's leader, is widely known for his lavish lifestyle, in stark contrast to the poverty faced by most of the country's population. Among his extravagant possessions, he is believed to maintain a secret collection of luxury cars, acquired despite international sanctions prohibiting their import into North Korea. It is believed Kim owns vehicles from well-known brands such as Mercedes-Benz, Rolls-Royce, Lexus, and Range Rover. One of the most famous models associated with him is the Mercedes-Maybach S600 Pullman Guard, an ultra-luxury armored vehicle valued at more than $1 million. Many of these cars are customized with heavy armor and advanced security technology, including bulletproof windows and exclusive communication systems. Despite strict sanctions by the United Nations, Kim Jong Un has been able to acquire these vehicles through sophisticated smuggling networks. The cars are reportedly purchased in third countries and shipped to North Korea via complex routes involving ships, ports, and ground transport. Reports indicate that luxury vehicles are often dispatched from China, Russia, or Southeast Asia before arriving in the regime. Kim uses these vehicles to display power and status, both to North Korea's elite and to the public, as a show of his untouchable position. The cars are also used in his private travels and visits to his luxurious properties, such as the resort in Wonsan. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.